discussing some common errors that you may encounter while working on an Excel sheet. These errors are represented by certain scores like value division name, not available, a reference, and then null, and also the now. This video, I will be exploring what this error means and what custom and how to fix that. Here, you can see some Excel error you can find sometime in your worksheet when you work with the formula. I'm going to show you today. Now, first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the below formula contain an invalid argument or operand. This can happen when you try to perform mathematical operation or non-numerical values, or when you use a function with the wrong data type. Like here, I already made it, and you can see this is value, and it's here I use a two number like the number 4 and number 2, and there is the 2 row, and here this is the 4 and this is the 5. So this one is this formula I used, like I want to sum it. So I use the formula bar in here, and when I type in here, now you can see this is the 2 column and B2 column. You can see I will just sum it. But when I click over here, now it says the below. It means it needs the number here. You can see it a 5R. It can count the 5R, but it can count only the 5. Let me just correct the way. So how can I do that? Click on that, and if I use like only the 5, let me hit on the enter. Now it say the 9. So you can just fix this by this way. To fix the error, you need to make sure that all the arguments or operands are the correct data type. So need to just check it. The next one is the division error occurs when you try to divide a number by 0 or cell that contains 0. So here I already used the number 1. If there is a 90, the number 2, it's called the 100. Sorry, it's called a 0. But the formula with arrow, when we click on that, it says the B2 divided by B3. And B3, it has a 0. For this reason, it's count. When I use my sum number, if I say the 3, when we click on the enter, now you can see it's the 30. It doesn't make any error of that. So it means when you do the 0 and also the blank, so it comes up the division error. Okay, let me do with the blank one, then delete it on it, and then it come with the division 0. Then next one, we will go to the name, and here you can see I already add the roll now with the students, and it say the 0, 1, 2, 3 kind of until the 13. And here I can give the marks like 52, 63, 98, like this here. The next column I will use the interval now of student here 14, and marks the name. So the names error appear when the Excel doesn't recognize formula or function. This can happen when you mess up a function name or when you use a function that is not available in your version of Excel. So like here, when I click over the loop, it doesn't look like if I say the lookup. So it will work like lookup, so it will work. But when you use the lookup already our function, but when we use like the look but it doesn't appear, it doesn't have any function in your Excel sheet with the look, so it will shows up you to the name. So how can you fix it? Just use the correct from like the use like lookup. If I use this one and look up the vectors and use the formula, and you can just use like this one to here. And if I say this one, let me close it. Now it will come up like this. We are also the 98 here. So it's usually work like this because I select this one, click on that. Now you can see here is the formula, right? One of the rest of the they have the wrong. So to fix this error, you need to check up spelling the function name and make sure that it is available in your version of your Excel. Okay. Then next error is not available here. You can see the sheet I already made it up, and here is some information about the name marked in the students. So this error indicate the value is not available. This can happen when you using a lookup function. The value you are looking for is not the lookup range. Like here, you can see when I use the Daniel and it's the mark. If I say be lookup and indicate the range, like here, I selected the range and it say the error because Daniel is not our list. For this reason, it say that some of the applicable lookup. So how can you fix it? Fix this error, you need to check the lookup range and make sure that it increase the value you are looking for. Like if I use the name, the James, let me in the insert. Now you can see it's find the games because it's in the range, and this is our list for decision is correct, and it's keep up the right answer. Okay, let me do it another name. Like if I see the robot, let me turn on the robot. It's come up the right hand side. The next point is the reference. The reference error is when a formula refers to a cell that is not valid. And here you can now see the reference error appears when a formula refers to a cell that is not valid. This can happen when you delete a cell of a range of cell that a formula is referencing. So let me just click on here. I already used this one. So what I'm gonna do, if I say the formula use the equal symbol, and if I use like sum and this one, and use this one, and also use the C12 and close with the first bracket and hit on the enter. Now you can see this is the right one, but when I delete this column or this row, let me delete on it. Now you can see it's with the reference, it means you delete. If you delete or if don't have the number or cell, it's come up with the reference. So to fix this error, you need to check the formula and make sure that all the cell reference are valid. Okay. The next one, sometimes you may find this kind of error. So it means the error occurs when a cell is not wide enough to display the value. This can happen when the value is too large or when the cell formatting is incorrect. You can see it has a date, and you can see on here, or if I type something like 1, 2, 3, 4, like this one, long word. Okay, let me use. Like if I type this one, now you can see, and if I do like this one, now you can see it's come up this kind of error. So to fix this error, you need to adjust the column white or change the cell formatting. Like if I use like this white and it's come up the now is the correct one. Like this one, if I use the white, now it's come up the right one. Okay, this is the number one. Just I need to go to the numbering, then it will come up the full, and it can be now fixed. Okay, the next one, I'm going to use the null. When I click over there, now you can see the null errors when you see a space instead of a column to separate an argument in a formula. Like when I click over here, I can just show you here the formula where it said a sum. Here the range is given, but in the middle you can just carefully see that there is no comma, it's just the page. So for this reason it's come the null. So how can you fix it? Just go to the formula and use, like if I use the comma, let me use the comma and hit on the enter. Now it's come the answer and it doesn't have the any null error. So for fix this error, you need to check the function and the argument to make sure that they are embedded. Like if I use like sum, and I'm gonna just show you this one, and if I use like sum, comma, and if I don't use the comma, then just use the space, use this one, proceed with the first bracket, let me hit on the add, it's come to now. So how can you fix it? Just use the comma instead of the space. Now it will be fixed. Okay, now you can see it's now fixed. The next one, num error. Here it's say the find square root, I already made it, and here is the find value, it's already the num. So it means that the num error indicate the value is not valid. This can happen when you use a function that is compatible with data type, or when you use a function with an invalid argument. To fix this error, you need to check the function and the argument to make sure that they are invalid. So here I already used 10. And here you can see it's only the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like if I type here, now when I click on the 1, now it say it's okay. Now you can see when I click on the 1, now it's come up with the find value. But when I use the different value like 2L, so because it doesn't have the value in here in 12, so it will not write answer. So it will come up with the